I can't do retro causality, man. That's just, it's too much. It's fucking too much. I haven't popped into Matt's channel in a while, Quantum of Conscience. I kind of do this with YouTube channels I watch, where I'll watch one a lot for a while, and then just kind of forget about it, and then I'll find it again. Well, I didn't forget about Matt, but I just kind of stopped going. You know, I wasn't trying to. It's just, you know, you open up a YouTube and the feed is the first thing that grabs you. And spent a lot of time watching some really stupid shit that I could have been doing other stuff. But I checked into him today, and he's talking about AI art. I think this was just from today. I think he just put this up a little while ago. And I've been kind of avoiding the AI art thing. I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, whatever. But after watching this show and hearing him talk about it, I gotta check some of that out. It's a vertical. It's not a vertical pursuit. But I mean, shit. My life is full of horizontal pursuits. I always talk about how there's a danger to get stuck in looking for true subjects or that kind of stuff, and ending up that you know, that kind of stuff. That's pretty smart. I sound smart. I sound smart today. But yeah, it's like I try to explain when you're trying to gain more truth. Well, I think I've explained it 100 times, and with diminishing returns, each one. It sounded way more profound when I first started using that. Now, these days, like, the fucking gas has run out of the tank a bit. It's just like, I don't... Some of the stuff I've come up with, like, I use so much that it's like, is that even good anymore? Does that make sense anymore? It still does in this case, but, you know, sometimes you can run something into the ground. But if you're looking for truth, you have to be going up. You know, you have to be moving vertically, because truth is at the top, ignorance at the bottom. Same thing with, like, power. You know, political power, I always use as an example. The control is vertical, top being the most. And what they do with us is they have us in a horizontal pursuit. If the elevator political power, well, if political power is an elevator, I had some plant medication. I'm not even gonna fuck with you. I did. So, you know, bear with me. But if it's an elevator, then if you get off a floor, you're no longer moving up to the top, where the truth and the understanding and whatever it is you're looking for, whatever elevator we're on. I'm just using the political one as an example. On a horizontal pursuit, when you get off one of the floors of this elevator, you're no longer going up. So you have people on the left and people on the right, and it's fucking literally called the left and the right. They each have a primary color. It's just so, it's almost mockery, you know, when you can step back and look at it. And they have you fighting your neighbors, your friends, your family, and each year it gets more contentious. You know, with Trump and Biden now, it's like things have gotten to a point where if you like the wrong person, near the wrong person, you could be in danger. Like, for real. You know, there's some people that are pretty extreme about this stuff. And I think politically, it's almost like that's what replaced religion. Because you're seeing the kind of extremism that you'd normally see in a religious group. You know, becoming so angry that they want to attack you. Or just deciding before they even meet you that people like you should be wiped out. You know, like, oh, we have to get rid of all these, you know, liberal people or crazy, and then their side is like, oh, we got to get rid of all these Trump supporters. They're no good now. Like there's no redeeming someone who had this certain political view. It's fucking crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Like, what is that? What is that? And it's replaced religion because there is no religion for America like we used to have. It was a Christian nation. Whatever you think about that. But you had people had a God sort of character in their life. Now they don't have that anymore. It's been kind of pushed out of everywhere, you know. At first you hear like church and state, and you're like, well, you know, that makes sense. You should separate those things, you know. But then you look at it now, and you're like, oh, I never considered this. I didn't know it could end up this way. It's like, well, you know, you didn't think about it too much then. So now we have people willing to be very extreme for this, for their cause or their side. And they're not gaining any knowledge or understanding that would inform them to change their perspective because they're on the fucking floor. They got off on one of the floors. You know, they're no longer heading out to get that understanding or that knowledge so that they can then reevaluate their stance and be more of a person that isn't going to kill somebody for their political beliefs. And of course that's extreme, but it's extreme in the way that some religions are like that. And, you know, even Christians at one point, every one of them has had their time, you know, and they still have their extremists. But we don't have a religion in the way that we used to, anyway. And that, it's a couple things. I mean, changing demographics as well. There's, you know, a lot of Muslims now in other parts of the world that there weren't in before. And, I mean, you know, the whole Muslim thing, it's so crazy how they made those guys out to be this boogeyman that hated you for your freedom. It's like, I don't know. I was on a lot of drugs during this time, but it made a lot of sense to me, you know? And it's just so stupid. That just wasn't true. That wasn't true, you know? You could get extremists in any religion. You know, I don't know. They have their problems like every other group of people do, but they're not this evil boogeyman that's around the clock thinking about destroying me because I have more freedom or something. That's just dumb. You know, it's just one of those things that at the time, you know, shit, I didn't think that one through because everything else is bullshit. Everything else is crazy. Like, I talk about Clown World a lot, but this is another veil bro, scale bro thing. The veil is breaking down, scales coming off the eyes, however, whatever the speed of that process is. And it's always been Clown World. It's always been Clown World. It's just degrees of Clown World. It's what you could see of Clown World. So as time has gone on, the idea is, oh, things just get worse, it gets crazy, and perhaps that's true. I mean, you know, I talk about the electricity thing with demons and stuff, and you know, there are things like that, but also the possibility exists that we just weren't seeing it, or what we were seeing wasn't representative of what was happening at the time because the veil was securely in place and we had all the scales on our eyes. I know that's kind of a weird, abstract kind of concept. It gives you an abstract feel. but I mean, I don't know. Like, why not, you know? It was always Clown World. It was always Clown World. And it's not that it's gotten worse, right? It's that the veil has gotten worse. And its ability to keep us from seeing the reality of our own environment is breaking down. It's become porous. It's become, it's coming apart. So now we're seeing it. I think it's something more like that. And I know it sounds weird, like, well, what do you mean? When I was, young, everything was like this, and I could see this person like that. And were you saying there are different people there, or things we're not seeing, or these people are disguised in a certain way via our eyes? I don't know. Those are all good fucking ideas, though. So I mean, keep at it. But yeah, it could be a confluence of things. But that's one of the things that you should be trying to find out about. That is a certainly a vertical pursuit. Keep heading up with that one, because there are some things that look like horizontal pursuits that if you put the time into them with the right angle, they could be vertical pursuits for you. It's not an airtight concept. You know what I mean? I'm tweaking this kind of stuff all the time, but I feel like that's something that you could get a lot more out of than trying to figure out if the NASA space shuttle is a hot air balloon. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school. And it is a hot air balloon.